Hello. Good afternoon, everyone. Welcome to our fireside chat, the road to full autonomous driving. Are we there yet? I'm Kelsey Cheng from Caixin Global, and I'm delighted to be your host today. The dream of self-driving cars has captivated us for decades. It's a technology that promises not to transform just how we get from point A to B, but also how we think about mobility itself, right? So we want safer roads, greater efficiency, and brand new user experiences. But turning that dream into reality is a massive undertaking. It's a long journey filled with tech breakthroughs, regulatory navigation, and the crucial element of public trust. Today, we're going to take a look at that journey itself. We will explore where the industry stands today, the innovations pushing it forward, and the biggest hurdles still in the way. And we're very lucky today to have someone who is right in the driver's seat of that journey. Maxwell Zhou, CEO and founder of DeepRoute.ai, one of China's most advanced provider of smart driving solutions. Thank you so much, Maxwell, for being with us today. To kick us off, could you give us a little bit of a self-intro, brief intro?
Yes. I have normally I will introduce myself with three numbers. So first is I have working on robotics for more than 2 decades. So I got a gold medal in robotics Olympiad when I was in high schools, and I'm working with the AI. I got my PhD in AI for more than, and also in the AI industry nearly 50 years, 15 years. And so our company has one mission, that's to build the AGI for physical world. Yeah. So our company is currently working on autonomous driving. So this is currently the main business for the second phase. So we were having the advanced foundation models for the physical world, like the general mobility capabilities.
Thank you for setting the stage and introducing your vision. So autonomous driving, let's start with definitions to make sure we're all on the same page.
Yeah.
Could you break down for us what is actually full autonomous driving?
We talk about the full autonomous driving. So normally, as is referring like level 4 and level 5, but in the past decades, so there are companies like Waymo. They are already launching the robotaxi in San Francisco and maybe in Texas. But in my mind, so the full autonomous driving, that is level 5. That means the car can driving everywhere. It's low low map constraints. Recently, the Teslas, they were launching the robotaxis. For the last week, they're having for the internal employees, they already can use the apps to call the robotaxis in San Fran, in Bay Areas. So yeah, from my friends, so they're working Tesla, they have tried that. This newer technology is totally different, as it is low geo defense. So this technology should be able to deploy nationwide. So and we hope Tesla can lead in this industry very quick.
Thank you. And let's just take a look at market readiness.
Yeah.
How close do you think China, and you mentioned Tesla, so US as well,
Yeah.
to actually commercializing full autonomous driving? And are there differences in each country's approach to that?
Yes. For both China and US, so there are a bunch of there are a few good companies like Waymo, like Teslas in states. In China, we have in like companies like DeepRoute. We have company like Pony.ai, Wayride. So yeah, both countries doing great. You know, you're using different technologies. Yeah, like a Waymo approach, we're having like Pony.ai, Wayride. In Tesla approach is DeepRoute. So we're having our strategies to launching the robotaxis using the new AI technologies, data-driven, end-to-end technologies, maybe end of this year. Yeah.
We're gonna ask more about that. So by zooming into more about DeepRoute itself. Your company has generated good headlines for breaking breakthroughs and milestones. For example, achieving actually unicorn status within 2 years of founding. So could you just tell us briefly, what is your business model?
Yeah, we have. So for currently, our business model is providing the independent AI to the OEMs, so they can using our technologies to sell the cars. So in the past, so our first cars sell to the customers is 2004 August. So in the past 8 months, so we having more than 50,000 cars sold to the customers, and we're having a really good feedback from customers. And in this year, so as the expectation numbers we sold to customers should be more than 200,000 cars. So there will be more than 10 car models using our AI and shipped to the customers this year. And for the long term, so the business strategies for us is, that physical agent, I mean, in cars, that is launching using the new technologies to launching the full autonomous driving cars, launching the fleets.
Fleets, right, like for autonomous driving. So licensing your technology to OEMs and running your own fleets eventually.
Yeah, so that's why they have two steps, because our technology is different. So that's the data-driven. If we're using the technology like Waymo's, so that is heavily rely on HD maps. So you don't necessarily need like millions of cars, maybe 100 or 1,000, that's enough, right? In China, they also have companies that are launching their robotaxis in small areas, and it is proving that it is safe. But for these technologies, they have the difficulty is scalable, right? And in the past 10 years, this technology is still launching in few spots. And so what we're doing is, after we saw the ChatGPTs, and we saw the power of undertrain, we realized they have a second choice. You can use in the AI, you can use data-driven methods to achieve the full autonomy. And we saw the revolution of the large language models. So let's think about the beginning of the ChatGPT, that ChatGPT 3.5. These models, they will speak. So when the first time people using ChatGPT, you will feel, wow, this is new things. Wow, this is amazing, but it make mistakes, right? And if we're using the same technologies in autonomous driving, this is not safe. But think about today's large language models, like Doubao, like ChatGPT. So it is very rare these models make mistakes, because this technology changes us so fast. We're using the same technologies, like from the pre-training to the post-training, doing the safety aware alignment. So our car drives like a humans, it's smart, and also it can guarantee the safe.
You mentioned several tech breakthroughs there, and one of them is, so you don't use maps.
We don't rely on maps.
Yeah.
We don't having HD map. We sold to the customers. It is in the entire countries. So it's no way you can have a map for the entire country, HD map. Navigation map, you need it, right? People need a navigation map to drive. Even humans, you need to see your phone or Google Map or Tencent map. You need this map to drive your cars.
And so that model can be replicated to more cars, more
Not
OEMs?
just cars.
Okay.
Yeah, think about the people using navigation map for driving. And you also using navigation map for work, right? You could just switch the navigation methods, like they have bicycle navigation, walking navigation. So this technology is not just for autonomous driving, it's also for the robots. So that's our the mission of our companies, provide our general models that can guide the physical agent, like robots, like cars, to running from point A to point B. This point A, that means your is your apartment, right? Any place.
So starting from autonomous driving tech first,
Yeah.
maybe, and then transitioning to other AI applications.
Yeah.
For example, logistics, right? As you
Yes.
said, like
The
deliveries.
Last mile deliveries.
Yeah, yeah.
That's, for the delivery, you having like a last mile, you have a hub to hub, and you have, for hub to hub, this is a fixed route. That's not necessarily you need an end-to-end technologies. You can just use HD map. They have in companies using HD map to a logistic in hub to hub. That is proving work.
And your company is already starting to explore this area of business?
Yes,
Last mile?
yeah, last mile.
Okay,
Yeah.
very nice. Any other tech breakthroughs that sets you apart from the competition in your company, apart from?
Yes. So in the industry, the competition is there always competitions, and also the technology changes so fast. So starting from the mapless, right? When people talk about mapless driving without an HD map, like 3 years ago, and for last year, it is end-to-end, but for this year is VLA, right? Using the reasonings, you adding the language reasoning parts in the autonomous driving. We believe this will be the next competition is in AI.
And just quickly going back to I just wanted to know for a figure, how many cars right now are installed with your autonomous driving solutions on the road?
And it should be more than 50,000, more than.
50,000 cars on the
15,
road.
yeah.
And do you have any long-term targets to expand this?
It should be over 200,000 this year and 500,000 next year.
Okay. Okay.
Maybe we can reach in 1 million next year total. Yeah.
So as we all know, I want to turn to the challenges right now to full autonomy. What would you say are the biggest engineering or technical difficulties that needs to be solved before we achieve L5 or L4 actually?
Yeah. So that's the most painful for mass productions. We usually just do demos with a few cars. Like in 2021, we're still doing the robotaxi using HD map. We have a fleet with 30 cars. So and I would say for every days, only 80% of the car is drivable. For the rest of them, you need to do some maintenance for every days. But once we go to mass productions, so all these cars sold to customers, they having no such engineering problem. No. So we're solving this in the past 2 years. Take a lot of engineering efforts. So we follow the standard of auto industries. They have V-shaped designs. You need to follow this auto-grade design methodologies, and eventually, so it's much reliable.
So basically, just to get it work 100% of the time is
Yeah,
basically.
100%. So they have a ppm, like 1 million times you activate these functions. The tolerance is just 1 failures in auto industry. But for just to do demos, maybe 10 times 1 failure, that's okay.
Yes. Yeah. Thanks for that. So, and that's just the engineering and technology side, right?
Yeah.
So, autonomy also needs to make business sense, as we all know. Focusing on the technology with most potential now, which is L3 actually, right? So most what we're trying to achieve is L3 right now. What needs to happen for L3 vehicles to make them a commercially viable business?
Yeah. So for the commercial side, we're talking about the Benny. First is cost controls, right? as I see the reasons when we designed, so our company should follow the data-driven technologies. We realized the only method is mass productions. Only mass production can give you millions of the cars, the collecting data. And the cost control, that's the first priorities. In the past 5 years, we reduced the cost for the autonomous driving from $100,000 to $1,000. The cost for autonomous driving right now is only 1% compared with 5 years ago. And now, for all these cars, maybe 50% of the cars, they are able to equip with such devices. And the second is user acceptance. That means not just talk about the cost control. The performance for these products should be reasonably good. You cannot provide like a junk to the customers. So this method we're using is we believe in the data-driven. We believe in data-driven. We're doing the more AIs. Once we doing the cost controls, and we have massive data, and we're using this data to using the data-driven technologies, so the end-to-end technologies, and this car is drives like a humans. So currently, our customers, when they when they're using our technology, they will say, for most of the time, this car is just a drive like himself. Yeah.
So cost control, as all industries, especially Chinese companies, they're very good at doing that, right?
Yeah.
I think perhaps even harder to do is customer acceptance.
Yeah.
And this brings me to my next question. We talked about safety, right?
Yeah.
So safety is really important when it comes to full autonomous driving. And there are still some holdbacks from a lot of consumers nowadays. They're worried about how safe the cars.
Yeah, safety.
And so what would you say to these people?
Recently the government, they having very strong regulations for these industries. I would say in short terms, they may be paying, but for long terms, this is good. Especially the auto industry, this is safety sensitive. Safety sensitive. If you use a ChatGPT, they give you a wrong sentence, that is fine. You can just repeat it again. But for autonomous drivings, if they make mistakes, this is a car accident. It might kill people. So the strong regulations, on this industry for long term, that is good. We're always talking about in China market, they have over competitive, right? But for the safety side, I mean the strong regulations, that is good. So this will limit these companies, they lower, lower threshold. Yeah, that's lower threshold. And so for companies, at least for DeepRoute, we don't worry about that because our AIs, we're working a long time on the end-to-end technologies. We are the first one to doing the map list, the first one to starting with end-to-end, and also the first one working with VLA. And we're using the latest technology from the large language model, like post-training technologies, like the PPO, like the safety-aware alignment. So our system is kind of achieving the best standard of the safeties.
And just to follow up quickly on that with the safety question, there are a lot of incidents recently, and which prompted regulators to really get down on the framework of safety.
Yeah.
So that's a good thing, you think. And for a lot of automakers, they're actually changing their branding.
Yeah.
They have to name it as assisted driving.
Yeah.
They can't call it autonomous driving.
Yeah.
辅助驾驶, right?
Yes. So there are new for the peer, there are new companies. They jump into the auto industries. Maybe they bring in their car is not like the cell phones, right? If your cell phone is rebooting, that is fine. But for car, no. So for auto industry, you need to work carefully to state your boundary of your system, right? You cannot over-promising, because the customer will believe you, believe what you say. So for today, this is our level 2, is assistant drivings. So even our system is much safer compared with the peers, but still, we will talk about that is assistant drivings. Right. Maybe 100 kilometer for one disengagement. That is very good. For today, it's very good. In urban, where we can achieve 1,000 per disengagement in highway, and 100 kilometers per disengagement in urban. But this is still in level 2.
Yes, exactly. So thank you for breaking down all of that. Let's use our remaining time to look ahead into the next stage of the journey.
Yeah.
So do you see DeepRoute's technology expanding beyond China? Are you also going overseas? What's the strategy and timeline for international markets, if you are?
Yeah, the first is we believe the technology has no borders. So the technology should be using not just in China. So we already have opened our European office. Already. So we already have cars using DeepRoute.ai's models running outside. So but all this we follow the local regulations. Yep. We will make sure. So this is the first, right? This is the first. You have to follow the local regulations, follow the local laws. So since our technology is mapless, so we don't rely on HD map. So for all these HD map related technologies, they need to collect data, geo-sensitive data. This is hard. For us, the data driven. This is AI driven. So even using the China models running overseas, that is still giving a reasonable good performance. Yeah.
And where in Europe is your office?
Close to German.
Close to Germany, where all the car makers are. And so Europe, focused on Europe for now. Anywhere else you're interested in?
Yeah, Europe, like South Asia. Yeah.
Southeast Asia, okay, very nice. And we have a little bit of time left, and I wanted you to touch on the competition itself.
Yeah.
So there are many players,
Yes.
automakers, solution developers. How do you see the competition evolving in the next couple of years?
Yeah, so think about 3 years ago, there were more than 50 autonomous driving companies. But for today, they're a handful. I mean, the strong regulations, that is good for the competitions. They need like the lower bottom of your technologies. Yeah, and especially for car industries, there are safety sensitives. So that's giving the more opportunities for company like DeepRoute. So we are having the best AI. We care about the safeties, and we can provide the safe and a smart technology to customers.
And just to wrap up our session, the million-dollar question that we all want to know: what is your vision of when we can see L5?
Oh yeah. So I believe level 5 could happen within 5 years. Yeah, I believe, because we saw the power of the large language models. the strong reasoning capabilities. If yeah, we believe that because recently our cars become smarter and safer, and because of we're using the technology from the transformers, GPT-based technology, from pre-training to post-training, safety alignment. So this helps a lot.
All right, and we hope to see DeepRoute.ai in that journey towards L5 in 5 years, right? In about 5 years? Yeah. Thank you so much, Maxwell, for your time and the really genuine insights. It's been fascinating to hear what's real, what's next, and how the industry overall is navigating this transformation. So whether if you're an investor watching the mobility space, a startup founder building the next breakthrough, or a consumer like myself who really can't wait to let the car do all the driving, we hope this session has been helpful to you. Thank you again, Maxwell, for being with us, and thank you all for joining. Thank you.